Hey guys, today we're reacting to when parents realize their kids is the killer. Let's get into the video.
Progress in Alameda, car into a building. Two are deceased in the vehicle. Daughter's driving.
This is the moment these parents come to the horrifying realization that their daughter has killed two innocent people. But unfortunately, there are more cases of parents discovering their children are killers. Like the father who learned that his own daughter had murdered her mother.
Oh.
We just got out. Yeah, I don't know. The wife and daughter got physical. The window's broken. Everybody actually came. How was it? Your brother? He's dead. When these parents found out their 18-year-old daughter disposed of her newborn baby like trash.
Damn, she just threw the baby in the trash.
Which in the bag was an infant, okay?
Don't they have a box where you just leave the baby? Why do you have to?
Why we're here.
That's so cheap. How crazy do you have to be?
On March 3rd, 2020, Akron police responded to a call made by the University of Mount Union. School officials told police that they were on the phone with a woman named Brenda Powell when they heard screaming over the phone. When officers arrived on the scene, they found Brenda with nearly 30 stab wounds in her neck and her daughter, Sydney Powell, in hysterics. Sydney insisted that it was a home invasion, but when investigators began digging deeper into Sydney's claims, they find that things didn't quite add up. According to school officials, when the line initially went dead, they called Brenda back and someone claiming to be her picked up the phone. But the woman on the other end of the phone wasn't Brenda, it was Sydney. That wasn't the only thing she was lying about. And unbeknownst to her, by the time Akron police arrived, her secrets would begin to be revealed. Upon arriving on the scene, officers immediately heard Sydney screaming inside, which gave the officers the probable cause they needed to enter the residence. When inside, officers would be met with a truly horrible scene. Not only that, they had their first encounter with Sydney, who had her fabricated story locked and loaded.
Akron Police! Akron Police!
The fact that she started lying.
Okay,
no, there's so much blood. No,
It's like she's trying to keep them from seeing the mom.
Get that 32 rolling here quick. We got a female down, blood all over the place. Start snorting, you just got crime. Take her outside. She's blood all over. She's breathing out. Secure the scene. She looks like a 22. She looks like she's been knocked a while. There's blood all over the place. There's a knife by her head and stuff like that. And there's a huge pool of blood. I think she just walked in on it. There's a broken window in the back. So if you couldn't just put up some crime scene tape. As soon as AFD gets here, they're going to pronounce her, I'm sure.
Once the officers got inside the house, they saw just how tragic the scene was. And based on the blood alone, it was clear that Brenda Powell had been viciously attacked. Not only that, it seemed that Sydney was distraught. But as the investigation continued, the truth would come to light.
Sydney was distraught because she's going to prison for killing her mom.
Come on. She's gonna be okay.
Come on. You just need to cooperate with me, all right?
Oh my God.
What happened? What's going on? What's going on?
We heard a bang, and she told me to get out, and then I heard screaming, so I came back, and she
Girl,
was on the ground.
not you lying.
Okay, you heard a
I
bang.
ran back. There was a bang, someone broken.
Someone broke in.
Okay.
Someone broke in and you were still in the house with the doors closed.
What is your name?
Sydney?
Are you cut?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you're cut somewhere.
I don't think so.
Yeah, your hand.
No, I was helping her. I grabbed her.
All right, stop. I'll tell you what. Can you sit on the ground?
This story is not making sense.
Come on.
You said the ground.
Yeah, you're fine right there.
No.
You're fine right there.
I grabbed the knife.
What
While being escorted outside, Sydney tried to explain things to the officers by telling them that her mom told her to get out of the house after they heard a bang. She then said that someone broke in, and when asked about the cut on her hand, tells police
Your
that
mom
she
told
grabbed
you
the
to
knife
get out the
while helping
house
her
and you
mom.
were
Moments
still in
later,
the
Sydney's
house.
dad, Steve Powell, arrived at the scene.
What's going on? I don't know. We just got
The dad.
Okay,
Sydney.
what's... I don't know. Okay.
I don't know.
Girl, not her screaming.
Where's my wife?
Where? So you're gonna have to inside there? So go check the house. Okay. She's got minor
She was in the house. The killer stabbed her mom, but all of a sudden she didn't get hurt or stabbed.
After a friend notified Steve Powell that police officers were dispatched to his house, he tried to figure out what was going on. But the scene becomes more hectic due to Sydney's frantic cries while sitting on the sidewalk.
You said your name's Sydney? Ma'am. Is your name Sydney? What's your last name?
No, you tell me.
Yes, I thought you know. What is it? How? What's your date of birth? Huh? Yeah. What's your date of birth?
As the situation becomes more intense, law enforcement tried to get more information from Sydney, but Sydney became more unresponsive and catatonic as the questioning continued.
I mean, she just got cuts to her hands here. Yeah. So, I don't know. Sir, we don't. Does she have any?
No. No, she was having a little trouble at school in Mount Union, and she came back home to try and work things out. Just today is when I found it. She's been, I think she has been going to class for the last couple of weeks.
So she just came home today?
Yeah, today. It's like 11 o'clock.
No, she was missing.
Sydney.
Was she missing or she just came home early from school?
Sydney.
There's something wrong with Sydney.
Huh? I don't know what's going on. We don't know yet.
Her father, on the other hand, had a lot to say. And when the officers begin questioning him, information comes to light that paints a more detailed picture of Sydney and her relationship with her parents. Information that later became vital in building a case against Sydney. The officer then turned his attention to Steve Powell, who revealed that Sydney was having trouble at school and wasn't going to class for a few weeks, so she came back home to work things out. Investigators later pieced together that Sydney had been unenrolled from the University of Mount Union after failing 3 classes. She tried to pretend like things were normal and kept the secret from her parents. And after further investigation of the crime scene, police concluded that Sydney attacked her mother with an iron skillet and staged the scene to look like a break-in. Once they come to this conclusion, investigators have the
she was
difficult job of delivering
crazy.
the heartbreaking news to Steve Powell. His daughter is a killer.
She planned it out. Girl, it makes no sense though.
The house, I don't know if you like it or not, I got physical. The window was broken, but there's no forced entry into the house. The window was broken, and nobody actually came through that window. Did your wife and daughter ever have like real heat? No. Are we listening? No. It's not possible. Clearly they can't see me. How I feel.
That sucks.
During the trial, the defense suggested Sydney's actions were because of a severe psychotic episode. However, after 9 days of deliberation, Sydney Powell was found guilty of purposeful murder, felony murder, felonious assault, and tampering with evidence. She was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole. This suspect tried to stage a scene to get away with murder. But what happens when a suspect tries to literally throw someone away? On January 7, 2022, 3 individuals were dumpster diving outside of a mall when they heard the sounds of crying, and after further digging, discovered a newborn baby with its umbilical cord still attached inside the dumpster. Once the discovery was made, the rescuers made a 911 call to report the newborn's whereabouts.
911, where's your emergency?
We just found a baby in the trash.
Is it breathing?
Yes, ma'am.
He still got
She
his
couldn't
dog
leave
for
the baby at a
court.
police
He went
station
for it.
or
He was not
something.
trying, actually.
After receiving the call, law enforcement arrived on the scene to investigate.
Where's the baby?
Keep warm. Keep him covered up. Keep warm.
You know whose baby it is? Is it your baby? April, is it your baby? No. Oh my god.
Once the ambulance arrived and took the newborn to safety, the officers continued their investigation. And after questioning witnesses, it didn't take long for them to find security footage that showed 18-year-old Alexis Avila's actions, moment by moment. In the footage,
She
Alexis
just
can be seen
tossed the
driving up to
baby
the
in the
dumpster and getting a
trash.
trash bag from the back seat and tossing it into the garbage. Inside the trash bag was Alexis' newborn
That
baby
poor
boy
baby.
wrapped in a towel. And that evening, the same security footage captured the moment the baby boy's rescuers came to save the day.
Imagine being born and then put in a trash bag in the back seat of a car, then tossed in the dumpster.
The footage captured the moment the dumpster divers retrieved the trash bag from the garbage, initially thinking the cries they heard come from it were from an animal. But as they investigate further, they discover the horrible truth.
Thank God people were there to help and call the police. That baby would have suffocated in that bag.
The Good Samaritans can then be seen pulling the baby from the trash bag and immediately calling the cops for help. And after finding the security footage, police officers were easily able to track down Alexis' home.
Hello, how's it going, man? We have some questions involving this vehicle. Is this your vehicle? Yeah. Okay, do you drive it daily? Your daughter does? Okay, what's your daughter's name?
Why?
This vehicle was involved in the abandonment of a child, okay? Somebody was driving this vehicle. They went and threw a bag, which in the bag was an infant, okay? A newborn.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why we're here.
When police arrive at the home, they speak
Oh,
to
they didn't know
Alex's
their daughter
parents, who
was
seem
pregnant?
completely dumbfounded
Or
by the
it's not
information
her daughter,
provided by the
their
cops.
daughter's
But the
kid.
officers proceed with their investigation by bringing Alexis and her parents in for questioning.
What happened today? How did your day start today?
I was in pain. I just go to sleep and then go back to the restroom. Go to sleep and go back to the restroom.
So obviously you gave birth to a child.
Right.
I'm trying to find out where it happened, how it happened, or what led to that and stuff like that.
I went to sleep and then I woke up and I went to the restroom and I was just trying and then it came out and I thought it was poop and then it.
Okay. So you were where? And you were at your house?
Yeah, I was by myself.
You were by yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
I was in a panic. I didn't know what to do.
Okay.
I was scared. I just left and I drove
Girl,
around.
and the first thing you did was toss
and
the
I
baby
just
in
put
the
it where
trash
Put it.
or the dumpster.
I put it in the bag. I took it to the car. When I was in the car, I had two trash bags. I took one with me, which is the one that I had, and then I put it again, and then I drove around and I didn't know what to do, and I just put it in there.
A short time later, Alexis is arrested. Alexis was found guilty of attempted first-degree murder and
And
child
she was
abuse and sentenced to
18,
18 years
so-
in prison. But in October of 2023, she made an appeal to have the Supreme Court look over her case. She was released pending the outcome of the court's decision. In this case, the suspect threw all in their victim like garbage. But what happens when a suspect's dangerous driving ends lives? On July 31st, 2022, at around 5:30 a.m., 19-year-old Mackenzie Sharilla was driving with two male passengers when she hit a brick wall going 100 miles per hour. 45 minutes minutes later, a Good Samaritan saw the aftermath of the crash and notified police. When the Strongsville Police Department arrived on the scene, both the passengers, 19-year-old Davian Flanagan and 20-year-old Dominic Russo, were pronounced dead, but miraculously, Mackenzie survived. After assessing the crash, law enforcement conducted interviews to uncover the reasons why the crash occurred. What they would find would make them question whether or not this was an accident. The cops would soon determine that Mackenzie had her foot pressed down fully on the gas. Not only that, she never once applied the brake. But before any of this
She was trying to kill
body cam
them.
footage captures the cops step by step as they assess the scene.
Radio. The car's split in two. Radio, there's an occupant inside. Send us some squad now. We're gonna bust the window out.
Damn, that
some more
car is
units.
busted up.
Any more units to Cyrus and Alameda?
Now!
The window isn't even breaking.
31, squad. 60 on Westford, I'm there, 3 on Alameda. This is not a fresh accident either. She's been here for a while.
They need something harder to hit that window with, because it's not opening or breaking.
No one's moving. Oh my God.
Even he can't believe his eyes. Oh my
Times
God.
3, guys. Radio, 3 occupants. No one's conscious. No one's breathing. Bust that window out. Rookie.
Oh, he's calling him over to take a look.
Oh my God, dude.
I can only imagine how the scene looks, because they blurred it out.
Who can hear my voice? Drivers and
He can't even
radio.
speak.
The driver is breathing unconscious.
The officers struggle to get inside the vehicle, but can tell that the occupants are in serious danger. One officer even notes that the driver is breathing but unconscious. Eventually, the officers are able to get inside the vehicle, and that's when the severity of the accident really begins to sink in.
Did you try the pockets of them? Okay. All right. Okay. I know. Jesus Christ. That's the worst I've ever seen.
Damn. But what happened though?
There's nothing we can do right now, guys, other than hope fire hurries up. That's it.
After being rescued from the wreck, Mackenzie was airlifted to the nearest hospital. There, law enforcement spoke to Mackenzie's parents to tell them the news no parent
Oh,
wants to hear.
Mackenzie was driving the car. She wanted to kill him.
Okay. She was life flighted here. Yeah, I wouldn't know that. Okay. No. You want to sit down? Oh my God. We say this. Progress in Alameda, car into a building. 2 are deceased in the vehicle. Daughter's driving. Who died? I don't know whether, but there's one that we don't know. His name's Jacob. Does anyone know a Jacob? No.
Stop. Let him talk.
Guys, I know, we've been dealing with this. Your daughter's okay. She's talking to us. I talked to her, okay? Your daughter's alive, okay? Your daughter's alive. She was driving, okay? I think it, what's the name you said? Might be. Oh my God.
What's the connection?
Okay. Yeah, the Dom was in the car.
Is that why she killed them or tried to kill them?
That's where we're at right now.
Not tried. She did. But
It's right now. It's an ongoing investigation. Speed is definitely a factor. So are drugs.
ooh.
Oh my God. So do you guys know anyone named Jacob? Anyone? I don't know. I've heard the name before.
Full transparency here. There's drugs in the car. She had a bag of mushrooms on her and a scale. Full
Oh,
transparency, guys.
was she
I'm sorry, but the
hallucinating and just?
car. It's a mess. She was driving, one in the back seat, and Jacob was in the front. Davion in the back. In and out of consciousness. Could be fully extracted from the vehicle by the feet.
The cop can't
I
even
know she has a
speak.
severe leg injury. Like I said,
His
she
mind
was
is blown by what he saw. He can't believe. He said it was the worst he has ever
She had her
seen.
seatbelt.
Police officers explained the incident to Mackenzie's parents, saying that she had drugs in the car, which included marijuana and mushrooms. But luckily for her, she was wearing a seatbelt, which certainly saved her life. The passengers, Mackenzie's boyfriend and his friend, weren't so lucky, and the officers would soon have to break that terrible news to the parents as
Imagine
well.
finding out your kid died.
So,
You know what time it happened?
no, we don't. Right now, it's so early in the investigation that we don't know. What we do know 100% is somebody called it in. Somebody passing by called it in at around 6:15, 6:30.
Oh, good. What, the car was just smashed somewhere?
Yeah. So what it appears that happened is they were going westbound on Progress from Pearl Road, and they went.
Right here in Strongsville?
Yeah, in Strongsville. That business that's right on Alameda, right where Progress ends, that's dead ends right there. They hit that building. They hit the sign out front and then they hit the building.
Would they fall asleep at the wheel or something? Don't know.
We don't know that. We don't know that. So
two kids are dead, my son's dead, another kid's dead,
Go
and
ahead.
the girl's in the hospital?
she's in surgery right now.
Oh my God, huh, Chris?
I didn't copy.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, hang on just one moment.
Whatever you might need.
Okay.
I mean, another family member or friend or anybody that you might want us to call on your behalf? No, this is a fucking nightmare.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That was, what do you think, Stay? Somebody called in at 6:30 in the morning?
Between 6:15,
6:15, 6:30, yeah.
Came upon it, passing it by.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. She was in her car?
It was in Mackenzie's car, yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Man, she's naked and you guys don't know.
We right now we don't know. She's in surgery right now, so we don't know.
Oh my gosh.
So
What a fucking nightmare.
After speaking with the parents, the officers' next task was to get to the bottom of what caused the accident. Police soon learned that Davion Flanagan had an app on his phone called Life 360, which in short tracked Davion's real-time location. This led police to discover details that could help crack the case.
I just want to show you.
Oh no, explain
So this is when they were going down Progress Drive, and then you know how there was like tire tracks before it, like on that side grass. So that's the sign.
That's when it hits the sign.
And then that's where she curved exactly right on.
Gotcha.
Missed those two rocks and went right into the sign, the side of it. But I'm just confused on how the back of the sign was messed up. But she went right into that wall.
Right.
No, so you can see like the hard braking was right at the wall, and then her high speed
After the hard braking.
was
Right.
90 miles per hour.
So it said it's a recording. Does that play?
So,
I mean,
no,
what does
so
it mean? It's
basically
just
all it works-
screenshots.
It's just a track.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
my parents had me in a circle so they can see where I'm going. It just follows you wherever
Right.
you
And
go.
Davion had us.
Yeah, we had
Okay.
we had a bunch of us. We had all of our like
Okay.
Davion was in it too. We can literally see where Davion has been.
So I don't know if you guys
however long you need to know.
Okay.
Right? We can show you.
Oh, they have a tracker on each one of them. They're friends.
We do have information as to other places they were going to. I'm not sure what the detectives have, but they know they have statements from other people of parties that they were potentially at.
So they were at Paul Burling house. I don't think their parents knew about the party, but I can be wrong.
Okay. If you guys want, I will let you guys write statements.
Okay.
And you can write down.
Is there anywhere I can like send screenshots?
Absolutely. I will give you, I'll write down my email.
I am trying to help.
You can send the screenshots right to the email and I'll get them all to the detective.
So I spoke to friends that were at the party. I wasn't personally there.
Okay.
I wish I was there.
Any information you have that can help us out to help try and sort out?
At least they came forth with the information and tried to help out.
So I'm gonna give you my email. Okay.
A lot of drugs.
Was the driver, and they said that she took me out. But if you know psychedelics, that's like a 8 hours to 12 hour thing. Yeah, you cannot sleep.
Police then investigated the black box in Mackenzie's car, which would give officers data like speed and brake usage prior to the accident. And upon further investigations, police found that Mackenzie had the gas pedal push all the down. Furthermore, the brake wasn't applied before impact. Law enforcement then conducted interviews with Mackenzie and Dominic's closest friends to see if that would shed some light on the reasons behind the accident. But the details that were uncovered turned this case on its head.
Me right here, if you looked at the tracks that you guys probably have pictures of, it looks like the person in the front seat tried to turn the wheel because of the fact they were going to go straight into a wall. And it doesn't say she heart broke once. It was 90 miles per hour down that whole road. And I also think because of Kenzie's and Dominic's history that they were fighting, I think Davion went on his phone to distract himself from the fighting. And although they were on drugs, they can also still be fighting with being on drugs.
It could have just been like careless mistake. Like I don't think Kenzie, even if she was like at road rage or she was arguing, I don't think her intention was to kill two people no matter what.
You mentioned that anytime Dom would kind of want to break up with her, she kind of would go crazy. Describe crazy, like what kind of crazy?
Like there is times where she called Dom and said, if you break up with me, I'm going to word for word.
What do you think happened?
Oh, she's a psych.
I think,
yeah,
she had a lot of psychotic problems.
And off my assumptions, Dom tried to break up with her multiple times, even in July. I kept not like working out what I would think I'd make him back up. Kenzie's known to be the kind of person that she's let us know she will never let go of Dom. If she has to let go of Dom, she will not go on living herself. She's pretty much let that be known.
He should have been told somebody about that, because that's crazy.
You were stomping that gas pretty much the whole time.
Should have told his parents.
There's no brake marks on the street at all. Even before they hit, you would think that some type of instinct would kick in and slam on the brakes. But to my knowledge, she went straight into it. To me, it seems like they were in a fight. I think that she took it upon herself to purposely crash into that wall. I think that he must have been trying to talk her down the whole time. They swerved off to the right at the end. I think he might have grabbed the wheel towards the end of it, maybe trying to spin him or something. Who knows? She could have been bear hugging it. I don't know. They're hitting bumps too. They're going 90. He could have not, I don't know what's going through his head, you know?
So, describe
90
the
miles
relationship.
per hour.
What was she like as your girlfriend?
I mean, like, she's kind
Oh,
of
that's his
like
ex.
any girl, really, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're all over the place in some ways, and like, they don't know what they want. She's like, oh, I love Dom so much, this and that, but like, he's mad at me for all of this, and I'm just like, well, yeah, like, why wouldn't he be like me to like just go stay with Dom? Because I'm not gonna be with you no more after this. Like, I'm cool with just keeping the friend group as friends because I don't want to mess up the friend group. I was like, I don't got no problems with you or anything like that. We can also be friends. You need to go talk to Dom about like your personal issues and stuff because that's your relationship with him. Like, but she would say stuff like, I don't even get high anymore and stuff like that because how much she's close. So I was basically like I didn't really have much with her relationship wise because we didn't date that long. But like friend wise, like she was crazy. Like our group chat, there was some days like we would all be getting ready for school and she would be sitting there spam calling the group chat to the point where like we can't pick it up to even like answer because she's just calling and declining and calling and declining.
She was a crazy ass kid.
Something as small as I can't figure out what I need to wear to school. It's like fire blowing up all of us. Like it was everyone that went to Kalahari that was in that group chat. So it's like, are you blowing us all up just over something?
Where was her parents?
I can't figure out what you're trying to wear to school. Like she would be like just.
She like mentally just not all there?
Yeah, I don't think she's just mentally all there. Like I personally feel like she was trying to kill herself.
And nobody saw this? Nobody?
Failed on doing so, but I feel like she had no regard for Davion, and I feel like they got in an argument, her and Dom, and she threatened to kill him.
Why did Dom put up with this? Do you know?
I've personally been told that she did voodoo on him. I mean, I personally don't believe that, but she told people that she put a spell on him so that he couldn't break up with her, and she would tell people that she had like grabbed a piece of his hair and that she had a doll in her room for Dom and that she had literally put a spell on it. But she would tell everyone. And like she truly believed in that kind of stuff. And she also uses the pendulum, I know, to try to get
Not her doing witchcraft on her man.
Do you think Mackenzie has it in her to drive a car into a wall? I mean, if you guys speculate that she did it on purpose, do you think she has it in her?
I feel like if she thinks that she can just drive the car into the wall and not feel nothing, you know, like 100 to the wall, I feel like the only reason she survived is because of how small she is. Like, I feel like she got insanely lucky, but at the same time, not lucky to her to survive that because like she killed 2 people. That was what she was trying to do, but it's like I feel like that's what she was trying to do, was cut the car into the wall.
The
Based
fact
on the
she
evidence that is gathered in
survived.
the interviews, police come to the conclusion that Mackenzie purposely crashed the vehicle, so she was carted off to jail. Mackenzie elected to waive her right to have a trial by jury and instead chose to have a bench trial, meaning her fate was in the hands of Judge Nancy Margaret Russo. During the trial, the prosecution argued that there was tension in Mackenzie and her boyfriend's relationship, that it was tumultuous, and that she deliberately planned to kill him and his friend in the car that day. But the defense said otherwise, saying that there was no proof that Mackenzie planned anything, and that there was no way of knowing what exactly occurred moments before the crash. But ultimately, it was Judge Nancy Margaret Russo that put the final blow to Mackenzie's case.
This is the type of evidence you can never unsee. You can never forget the visual or audio of this exhibit. It is chilling and tragic.
She over there looking all
As you
innocent.
review that exhibit, you know that you are watching the oncoming deaths of 2 people, and there's nothing that will stop it. The video clearly shows the purpose and intent of the defendant. She chose a course of death and destruction that day. Exhibit 802 crystallizes the deadly decision-making of the defendant. She morphs from a responsible driver to literal hell on wheels as she makes her way
Going 90 miles per hour. She obviously didn't plan to stop.
to drive an obscure route, a route she visited a few days before, and a route not routinely taken by her. Mackenzie alone chose the time to make the drive early in the morning, when any reasonable person would expect that few people would be nearby to witness it or offer life-saving assistance. She made these decisions despite knowing, as any reasonable person would, that her mission of death could have involved others, not even in the car with her, other people, other cars, pedestrians. She had a mission, and she executed it with precision. The mission was death. Mackenzie alone decided to push the pedal to the floor and demand the ultimate speed of that vehicle to 90 to 100 miles per hour. She alone decided what was to be. Mackenzie decided death was the ultimate goal that day, and she alone made that decision for Dominic and Davion, and she continuously acted in a manner to achieve her purpose. Whether or not she intended to also kill herself is a matter of speculation and of no relevance to the weighing of the evidence in this case. The totality of the evidence clearly demonstrates that Mackenzie Shirilla acted purposely and intentionally in the early morning hours of July 31st, 2022, and her purpose was to kill Dominic Russo and Davion Flanders. No reasonable fact finder could view the
She went, she surveyed the area before. She was crazy and ready to kill. She was ready to kill herself and everybody involved.
This was not reckless driving. This was murder.
Mackenzie was found guilty of 4 counts of murder, 2 counts of aggravated vehicular homicide, 4 counts of felonious assault, 1 count of possessing criminal tools, and 1 count of drug possession. She was given 15 years to life in prison. In this case, the suspect's bad decisions cost the lives of 2 people. But what happens when the perpetrator of a crime is a 12-year-old girl?
Okay, guys, so that's it for the video. See you in the next one.